And if you're filming a scene and you want it to look like it's running, just place the fake blood right before you do it. Hello everybody, we're back with another video today, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make fake cuts. This is something I did back in 2017, as you can see with this picture of my dad here, but I haven't attempted it on YouTube. So today I got my friend Ben, and we're going to attempt to do this. Before you put on any makeup, you need to make sure that the person has no oil on their face and they're clean from all that, so... So tools you'll need: fake blood, nose and scar wax, this is what we build the scar out of. A makeup palette, you could use a cheap dollar store one or a more expensive one like I have. I'm just experimenting with this for the first time. Spirit gum and spirit gum remover. This is what attaches the fake cut to the skin, and then the remover is basically like rubbing alcohol but slightly different makeup. Some sponges to apply things. If you're really hardcore, you can use fresh scab, which makes the wound look deeper, but that's also a bit more expensive. A knife or like a toothpick, preferably, just to score the back of the wax cut and also to make the cut open. Washcloth, water, and maybe a garbage bag just to protect the person's shirt while you're doing all this in case any fake blood drips. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do, in all seriousness, is get a cloth, wet it, and then just clean it around the forehead or wherever you're applying this. And I recommend applying this on areas where like the bone is close to the flesh, like cheekbones or forehead. You're not going to want to do it on places where there's pivot points in the skin, or else it's just going to fall off. For those, if you do want to do things in those areas, you're going to have to use like liquid latex or some other alternative, because a lot of people are allergic to latex, unfortunately, so that you can have a pivot point cut. But today we're just doing a simpler one, but still an effective one. Oh, and you should also just keep part of your cloth dry, or get a second cloth so that you can dry the forehead, because you don't want it to be wet. You just want it to be absent of oil. Okay.
That was a lot better than before.
For the wax, yeah, it just heats up as you handle it. So it's just like silly putty essentially. You're just gonna want to sculpt something out of it. Get that and like roll it between your fingers and make like a cylinder sort of thing. What made you want to volunteer for this? And then for this part, you're gonna want to score this, which means just like make like hatch marks, like crisscrossing with each other, so that the back of this has something to adhere to on the skin. Because if you just try to put it flat on, it ain't gonna attach. Yep. So just put some marks like sideways, and then cross it the other way as well. So you don't need a ton of spirit gum, just like the size of the wound or slightly smaller. I'm gonna do one that's like shaped like this. Cool. And then you're gonna want to tap this with your finger to make it tacky, otherwise the glue hardens in a weird way that it doesn't allow for anything to attach to it. Might actually need a little more, it doesn't feel sticky enough. Okay, so that's good for preparing the surface. Now you just get your cut and you put it on top of that, and then just like smooth it out into his skin. And you can buy, I think you can buy different colors of nose and scar wax for different people's skin tones. But if someone's like Caucasian, you can just color it differently with like paints and stuff. Maybe I'm gonna put a hat on him because the hair's getting in the way. That's okay. There we go. Like, you want to smooth out the edges, but still leave an elevated surface in the middle where the cut is. Because when cuts actually get cut, they have a little bit of an elevated surface in the middle, and then they have like a bunch of irritation near the edge.
Yeah, my mom used to do like Halloween makeup and stuff, but never this intense.
Never
this
this
just like.
Only, I imagine this would only work for like normally temperatured places you're filming, because if it's hot, the wax is gonna melt. Like,
or if it's cold, it's gonna be like.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be brittle and then it'll crack and crud. I need to, I don't know. It's just looking too chunky right now. Maybe. Okay, now I'm not gonna cut his head. I'm gonna use a butter knife, wedge open the wound, because you can like cut it. Because the wax really sticks to your fingers, so you're gonna periodically need to like keep cleaning your fingers so that you can do it correctly. I think if we add makeup to that, it'll look normal. Because sometimes the makeup helps hide how 3D it is. Yellow is alright because bruising early on before it turns purple is yellow. And then like, yeah, you're gonna want reds and purples and stuff. I'm actually also gonna get a little cup to fill with water so that I can keep dipping this in like a painter. So I'm gonna start inside the wound with like this darky, it kind of looks weird on camera, but it's like a brownish color, brownish red. Oh, this looks way yummier than I expected. Because like the woman was trying to sell me on this is good, and I was like, why wouldn't I use like the cream-based dollar store stuff? But it's not even around Halloween time, so it's not an option anyway. Wow, this looks so good. It looks juicy, but not like the kind you want to eat. So that was a purpley red, now it's like a more reddish red. I'm gonna put some of this onto a sponge from my brush because you don't want this next red to be too strong or else it'll look, yeah, it'll just look weird. Because you want to dab some red on for where it would be irritated, the skin, and like freshly bruised, which is usually a reddish color. And now you're gonna want to mix this in with your finger, just like the wax. But since it's water activated, like wet the fingers a little bit. But I guess I can just get a wet flubber nub and then like move the stuff that's already on his face around. Because it's kind of annoying. It seems like once it applies, it's there. And it's like, no, don't like that. Because the cream stuff is constantly like ready to be activated if you touch it. Yuck.
Is that a good yuck or a bad yuck?
A good yuck.
Okay.
Yeah. Audience, if you're gonna attempt this, I'd recommend having water-based stuff with you, and or I'd recommend having cream-based makeup with you, and or water, so that you can work with both. Because water's a little more difficult. I'm used to the cream stuff. So this stuff, it isn't always necessary, but if you got like deeper cuts or big wounds that are gonna be visible on camera, you're probably gonna want to get some fresh scab stuff. So this is from Ben Nye, which is like a Hollywood distributor. I'm gonna use a real shank, but I'm gonna be careful just because I'll be able to insert it in the wound that way. So this just adds like depth. And also when the blood's like clotting after a cut, it gets kind of chunky and weird before it forms a scab. So that's also what this is mimicking. Now let's take a gander. Ooh, that's looking yum. Fake blood. You see this hole on the end of this? It's small. And the issue is that it's gonna be, well, it's small, but it's bigger than like the cut width. So you're gonna wanna maybe use like a butter knife to guide it into the cut. I'm gonna do right now.
You put anything in there?
I just put the scab blood stuff. Oh man, this fake blood is so ancient, it pretty much is scab blood.
Oh.
Oh well. Actually it's running a little bit, that's good. Whoa. Okay, now tilt your head down. I'm just gonna let it run like normal. And if you're filming a scene and you want it to look like it's running, just place the fake blood right before you do it. And there's also ways you can make fake cuts and have like a pump underneath of a liquid latex hook up on an arm to do that, which is what they did in the Rambo film when he like cut his arm falling on the tree. So there's different stuff you can do. And the cut isn't gonna be like clean if you've been moving around and like running away from bad dudes or whatever. So just move that crud around a bit. All right. So let me just get a real good close up. So that's how you do a fake cut, guys. I think it turned out all right. Maybe not as good as the first one I did with my dad, but I think that's just because I'm not as used to this kind of application method of water-based stuff, but I still think it looks decent. So we've done the fake cut, now it's time to compare it to a real cut. What do you think, Ben?
It looks really good. The way you were talking made it sound like it was turning out a lot worse. But it looks pretty realistic.
But I guess always like, the artist is always the hardest on his own art because he notices the flaws. Okay, now for removing this, you just get a butter knife and you just like scrape off the wax. Should have been done Yeah, so boom. Look at that, that looks just odd now. As much as you can. And get as much of the wax off first time as you can. Before I'd use nose and scar wax remover because it only goes so far, use rubbing alcohol. The thing I also love about this stuff is you can light things on fire with it.
Not me though.
Yeah, not you. All first, because spirit gum remover doesn't go super far. Spirit gum goes really far, but the remover doesn't seem to go as far. This is gonna suck. I forgot about this.
What is it?
It's really stubborn, which I don't think we're there yet. You use ice cubes, but it kind of gives a person a brain freeze, but it hardens it, like we were saying.
That shouldn't be too bad.
And takes it off. See if it can come off easier, hopefully. Thanks for watching, guys, on how to make a fake cut, and be sure to tune in for the next video on somewhat film-related chaotic fun.